Hi, Jenny Lynn, Life Makeover Consultant and helping you realise your true value. I want to talk today a little bit about anxiety and depression and show you how I believe they're two sides of the same coin. Whenever I teach either my colleagues or in a personal workshop for people, I often draw up on the board an equation, and the equation looks something like this. Repressed expression equals depression. So with depression, you've just lost the capacity to really trust that you can make a difference to anything in your life. It's like a helplessness, a lostness. In Buddhism, it's the hell state. It's the state of least activity, where life sits still, stands still. And from this position, you cannot imagine it any other way. Now, I often say that the first step out of depression is anger, and I'll talk about that shortly. But so depression is a state of life where you've lost trust, you've lost faith, and you've lost hope. But it's based on the past. It's based on the last time something happened and what you did about it or didn't do about it, and how effective and how ineffective it was. Sometimes we can be thrown into depression via loss, because we're suddenly rendered powerless. You know, we've lost somebody or something, a job or a loved one, and there's just no way we can recover the life that we used to have. And we feel helpless and lost and depressed because there's just no going back. So you can see loss creates depression, and loss in many ways is what we're always experiencing when we're in depression. Is a loss of hope, a loss of faith, a loss of expression. Like anything I do makes no difference. The other side of the coin, I believe, is anxiety. And that is where we've lost trust and faith that we can affect anything. But this time, instead of become helpless and withdrawn, we go into overdrive and we start to anticipate all possible scenarios so that we can be prepared for anything. Of course, this leads to a very racing mind. It revs up your fight-flight response in your body, and it can create things like allergies, IBS, chronic fatigue syndrome, because the mind is so busy racing away trying to plan and plot and scheme everything so that you can stay safe, that the immune system just gets more and more revved up, and the body starts to prepare for red alert every time. So the difference, I think, between depression and anxiety is that depression goes inwards, anxiety goes inwards, but it stays in an agitated head sense. It comes about in a very existential agitation about life. Both of them are illusions, okay? Both of them are illusions. They're based on an experience that happened once in the past that you didn't deal with correctly, or that floored you and you were unprepared for, some traumatic shock or something that took the rug out from under your world, and you had to find a new way of being. And sometimes, you know, when you reach that point where you really have lost hope and you've lost faith and you just don't know, and you're very passive and reserved in health state, or you're hyper anxious and you're creating scenarios and you're busy and you can't sleep. There's so many issues that come around anxiety. Then, you know, you really could do with some help to try and recalibrate yourself, perhaps by adjusting your diet. In the short term, it shouldn't be a long-term effect, but in the short term, adjusting your diet and what you eat, and also seeking help, because somebody else can often help you more than you can help yourself. And I don't mean friends or family, because sometimes they're a little bit too close. They want to take your worries off you rather than equip you to deal with them. So, or as well-meaning as they can be, sometimes it's not the best way to work. So I hope that tells you a little bit about anxiety and depression and my philosophy on it. And the way I would work would be to sit you still with these feelings and actually analyse, either subconsciously through hypnosis or consciously through some kind of therapy approach, because I have a whole battery of different styles I can use with you, whether you really do have to have those beliefs still. So I hope that's useful. It's me signing off for now.